Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Welcome into all of the new subscribers. There's been over 100 new people who have joined the Primetime family since seeing my interview yesterday on the Steve Rakin Profits YouTube channel. So if you have not had a chance to see that, go down below in the description section. You'll see a link to it. If you happen to be brand new into reselling, definitely make sure you subscribe to Steve's channel. He's got over 105,000 subscribers. As far as I know, there is no reseller who has more subscribers on their YouTube channel than Steve, and that is because Steve really knows what he's talking about. He's got tons of useful information, incredible content, and it's really worth your while to head over there. Now, before Steve did an interview with me, Steve did a show in which he talked about toys and collectible toys and how much money you can make with that. And one of the items Steve featured on his channel was Funko Pops, and I'm going to talk to you about that here right now. I have mentioned Funkos before, but if you're brand new to my channel, this is one of the items that I like to go out there and try to get, and I am able to make a lot of money by selling Funko Pops if you know what to look for. And that's what I want to go over with you in this video. I want to actually, for the first time ever, I want to actually take you into what I look for and actually show you the negotiation process with somebody online, so not face to face but online, and how it all works out and comes together to decide whether or not you should make a purchase or not. So I'm going to show you how this happened from the beginning all the way to the end of the negotiation. I am scheduled to go pick up this lot tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So it's actually not too far from now, because right now it's about 2:30 in the morning. And if you're brand new, I do a lot of my videos late at night because that's the only time I could usually fit them in. So if you're brand new into toys and don't know anything at all about Funko Pops, this is what a Funko Pop toy looks like. They're basically toys that are made to replicate certain characters that are, in pop culture. That's why they're called Funko Pops. There's nothing about them that explodes or anything. It's really a reference to pop culture. And so, there's lots of them out there, lots of famous characters from famous movies and TV shows and real life, even from sports. They're just all over the place. There's so many different types of Funko Pops. And as with any collectible, there are some Funko Pops that are literally worthless, and there are ones that are worth a lot of money. We're talking hundreds of dollars, some even, above $1,000. So there really runs the gamut there, and you got to know what to look for in terms of deciding whether or not these, the Funkos that you're looking at are valuable, and if they're something you should wind up picking up. So let me kind of bring you into the negotiation that I just had with somebody yesterday, right before I went on Steve's show. I was just putting the finishing touches on it, and to kind of bring things kind of full circle. If you saw my interview with Steve, one of the things Steve was asking me is, how do you go out and find some of this stuff? Now, he was asking me that question related to comic books, and one of the things that I told him was that what I do is I put ads on Craigslist, and I basically tell people they're wanted ads. I tell them I'm looking for a certain type of item. So I have one on comic books, but I also have a specific one that is just about Funko Pops, and it looks like this. I'm going to show you what it looks like right here, and it says paying for your pop collection. I just put this together using PowerPoint and just a little creativity, a little cut and paste. And one of the things I want you to notice with my ad here is that, and if you follow me on Instagram, and if you see some of the thumbnails that I put for my videos, I like to put things in there that instantly grab attention. And if you put a picture like that up with just a massive collection of Funko Pops right there, just stacked one atop another with that big, just paying for your pop collection. It's got the icon of the Funko Pop right there, which you can see that right here. That just instantly grabs attention to someone who is looking to sell off their collection. And so what I have in my ad, which, you could just pause it. I'm not going to read the whole thing here to you, but, I started off with, has your Funko Pop collection gotten out of control, or have you outgrown it? Have you run out of room to store all of them and just need the space? Would you rather have cash in hand that you could use for more important needs in your life? If so, please contact me if you're interested in selling your Funko Pop collection. Now, you could read the rest of it from there, but I want to let you know what I'm doing psychologically there. And if you saw my interview with Steve, and or if you didn't and you're brand new, I do work as a neuropsychologist, and so I like to bring in the psychology of interfacing with buyers and the importance of how you package certain messages and how you basically go about a negotiation to make the best deal for your business. And so what I'm doing with this ad is I am specifically trying to target a certain type of Funko Pop collector. I'm trying to reach the person who has just gotten to the point where literally it's gotten out of control. And if you know anything about Funko Pop collectors, a lot of them wind up becoming addicted to it. They wind up purchasing one, and then they get another and another and another, and it's okay at first, but eventually what happens is it does start to look like this picture, and it starts stacking up, and it becomes a situation that could get out of control really quickly. People can wind up spending a lot of money. I have literally seen situations where a spouse has brought their husband into a hobby shop to make him sell off parts of his collection because it's literally gone so out of control. I actually saw one instance where someone actually chose to purchase Funko Pops over food for their baby. So, and that's what actually sent this person over the edge and literally dragged her husband practically into the store to sell off parts of the collection. So, that's an extreme example of how bad things could get sometimes with this, but in other instances, people just say, you know what, I was into it for a while, it's a fad, it's taken up way too much space, I'm moving on with my life, I need to just get rid of this. So that's who I'm targeting. And I mentioned that to you for a reason, because there's another type of Funko Pop collector that tries to sell off the collection. And those collectors are ones that are really trying to cash in. And they have their Funko Pop collections on, they have them stored on the Funko Pop website, which you could see that I have over here. And if you sign up and you log in, there's actually, you could actually store them in a list, and it will tell you how much they're worth, and they know how much every single one of them is worth, and they have a total value, and they're basically trying to get market value or very close to market value for their item. So let's say it's a collection that's valued at $3,000. They might tell you, well, I know I'm not going to be able to get $3,000 for it, I won't try to sell it to you for that, but they want to sell it to you for $2,500. You are never going to make money in that type of situation, because with Funko Pops, you have to take into consideration that you need to box them, that you need to pack them properly, because these things are pretty flimsy. You could see it's plastic and it's pretty flimsy cardboard, and a major complaint of people who receive Funko Pops is they get damaged in the mail. So I have a whole bunch of videos on my channel that's dedicated to showing you how to properly package Funko Pops, and so you might want to check that out if it's an area you want to get into. But that requires supplies. There's bubble wrap involved, there's tape, there's cardboard. So all these things start to add up in terms of time and in terms of money on your part. So you want to make sure you factor those types of things in. Generally, I use a 10 by 8 by 6 box, and I buy those through eBay, so that's an expense you have to factor into the collection purchases as well, in addition to shipping. Normally, for a Funko Pop like this, it's going to cost you between $3 and $4 to ship it. So if you're doing free shipping, you've got to factor that into the cost as well. So essentially, I'm looking for the person who just wants to just liquidate it, because that's where you're going to get the best price. So keep in mind, if you decide to copy what I'm doing, which you're more than welcome to do, put up a Funko Pop ad similar to this in your area, and try to score a collection. The most important thing you got to keep in mind at the outset is not to give up on it, because what I'm going to tell you is that you are going to have people who are going to laugh at you when you tell them how much you're willing to pay for it. And you've got to be willing to just let that roll right off and say, fine, and you are just going to wait for the right person to come along. Because trust me, trust me, trust me, that at some point during the year, you will get one or two collectors. And that's sometimes all you need if you're buying a large collection. One or two collectors who's just fed up and willing to just get rid of it. So let me take you into an initial email that someone sent me to reach out to me specifically in response to this ad. I'll show you what the initial contact looked like and how I responded to it and how we took it from there. So here we go, right over here. I've made the font bigger so you could see it, so I'll just read it. It's not that long. It goes, hey there, I have a ton of Funko Pop figures I'm looking to get rid of. Most of them are common, but he meant to say all are in near mint condition. Is there any specific pops you are not looking to buy? I want to get rid of them as a lot. Thanks. So a couple things in there that I like. One, the person is, giving me a little bit of detail, asking some questions. The person seems nice, saying thanks, that kind of stuff. Also telling me they are in almost all in all in near mint condition, which is great. Condition is very important. If you see a lot of these boxes and they're crushed in and dented, which is common, a common problem to find with these, you should not purchase them if most of them are like that. If there's a few of them that have dings and dents and stuff, that's okay, but the majority of them cannot be like that, or you will have trouble moving them, or more trouble moving them. So, condition, as with many things, is very, very important. So I like that they seem like a good condition, but looking at that, I'm a little bummed out if he's saying most of them are common, because if most of the figures are going to sell for less than $10, and this is a tip I'm going to pass on to you, do not purchase the collection if most of them are less than $10. Because it's just going to be hard to move. Those types of figures are ones where, by definition, they're common, so there's a ton of them out there, and it's very hard to separate yourself from the pack because most people are trying to sell them for $7.99, $8.99 free shipping. It's real hard to compete with that. So, and also you have to keep in mind that what you're going to try to do here is you're going to try to source them for around $2 per pop. Around $2 per pop. Now, stores, brick and mortar stores, get them for around $3 a pop. And the reason why they will pay a little bit more for it is because if they're not shipping them out, they just have to have them sit on their shelf for a while, take up some space in the store, but they don't have to have the expense of shipping them out. So they could pay up a little bit more for them. Now, I'm willing to go over the $2 and be somewhere between 2 or 3, but in order for me to do that, I have to know that there's some really, really solid Funko Pop figures in there, like ones that are worth $35, $40, $50 and things like that. And there can't just be one of them. There's got to be a bunch of them in there that are like that. So let's move forward to my response here. So I just took out his name, but it's the only thing I edited. Thanks, X. I said, I also run the comic ad you replied to. So I do have a separate comic ad where I also mentioned I'm looking to purchase Funkos, and he responded to that as well. So that is also helpful for me because that lets me know he's actively shopping them. He really wants to get rid of them. So that's helpful information for me. So I said if most of them are common, it's going to be tough because I buy them for an online business and each cost about $4 to ship, and I pay the shipping. So I'm being honest with this guy, and I'm letting him know that I am purchasing them for resale purposes. Now, a lot of people will shy away from that in terms of letting someone know that, but in my opinion, that is a mistake in this type of situation, because you need to let the person know that you're not purchasing these as a collector. You want to get them for a business, so that lets the person know that their price is got to be reasonable. It cannot be something that is retail value because there's no money in it for you. There's no meat on the bone, as they'd say in American Pickers. So I say directly to the person, so if these are ones that are almost all worth less than $10, I won't be able to do that. If you have a list, please send them to me. I'll also need to see a picture so I get a sense of the collection, a better idea of how many there are. I want to know what city he's in, and how much he is asking for them. So, you know, thanks. So, you know, just show a little enthusiasm there, and we'll see what he says back. He says, if I had some in the lot that are more rare and were worth more, would it entice you to buy the lot? Now, there's a lot that you could pick out of that sentence there that he said. And what that tells me is, one, he was initially just trying to sell off the common ones. So this is very common. A lot of collectors will do this, by the way. They'll try to sell off the common ones to make their money on that, and they'll keep the ones that they like the most. Makes sense, right? But now the person realizes, oh, this guy's not going to buy them if they're all common, so I got to throw something in to sweeten the package. So he was holding back. Now he's willing to throw in the more rare ones. So that's another reason why you have to be straight up and honest with people about what it is that you're doing, and why you will or will not purchase a certain type of collection. So that allowed this guy to sweeten the pot for me. And you could also see he is really wanting to get rid of them, right? He's saying, would it entice you to buy the lot? He's telling me, listen, I want to get rid of this. So if I did this, then would you buy it? So that's very important, because I talk about this a lot in my videos in terms of the psychology of the negotiation. I always say, what, for people who've watched me for a long time, that you want to be the one that has the leverage in the negotiation, because that's how you're going to come out and win. So and one of the ways to do that is you need to have enough inventory around you so you're not desperate to purchase this collection. And I'm not. I have plenty of Funko Pops. I have plenty of other things that I could sell. I do not need to buy this. I will buy it if I could get it for the right price, but I don't need to. So that allows me to walk away from the deal if I feel that I'm going to do that. So my response to him was, it depends, and that is the truth. It really does depend. I really need to see what you have. Please send the pictures and a list if you have it. Thanks. So, okay, so he says, okay, is there a phone number that I can text him to? You know, his phone isn't letting him send all the pictures via email. That sometimes happens via Craigslist. So he sends me the pictures, and so I'm going to show you the pictures that he sends me. So they come across, and here they are. There wind up being a total of 68 Funko Pops. Now, having experience in doing this does help. Like, for example, for those of you who've been watching me for a while, earlier this summer, I bought an epic Funko Pop collection for $200, and the Shining characters here, the Grady twins, were in there, and I could just go back to my database and look, and which I did, and I saw I sold this one for $35 over the summertime. So I know this is approximately worth about, you know, will go for around 35 bucks. So that's a good sign right there, me seeing that right off of the bat. I scroll through, I see some other ones. And by the way, you know, if you're new to my my channel, one of the new people that came in and just subscribed, that lot that I bought for $200, I brought in so far, and I still have a few pieces left to it, but I sold almost all of it, but I brought in $2,500 off of that $200 purchase. So wound up being a great score, and that's what I'm talking about, where you could make a lot of money selling Funko Pops, but you got to do it right. So let's go forwards, and I'm going to show you how to break this down. When you get all these in, you're probably wondering, how do you value all this and kind of make a determination? And I'm going to show you in a moment. So we've got picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, picture 5, picture 6, picture 7. So one of the things I'm looking at are how many are there. So we've got a total of 68. Now you only count, when I say 68, the number of boxes. So you can see this box has 2 figures in it. You don't count them separately as 2. You count them as 1, because it's how many boxes are there. So we'll come back to that 68 number later when we've got to figure out some of the math on what kind of offer to make here. Now, the next thing you want to do that I'm looking at when you're just generally eyeing these and looking these over are, do any of these have stickers on them? So if I zoom in here, okay, bring this in, you could see some of them say Hot Topic on it. Some of them say only at Target. Some of them say Walmart. So that means that that's where that was the only place you could find these. They were exclusive. And as a general rule of thumb, now there's exceptions to what I'm going to tell you, but as a general rule of thumb, the items that have stickers on them that are exclusive or are limited in some way are going to be worth more than the ones that don't have that. The ones that don't have that, are generally more common types of figures, like like this Aurora figure over here as an example. If I go over here, you'll see what I really, really look for. When you see this, this is going to be something good. If it says, and I'm going to try to zoom into it a little bit better here. Let me get over here. I'm trying to get over to the right, but let's move over here. Right there, I'll bring this up. Right there, it says 2018 Spring Convention exclusive. That means they're even more limited because they were only released at a specific comic convention. So, that's even more limited than them only being available at a certain department store. So whenever I see that sticker, or if it says it's from SDCC, that's the San Diego Comic-Con. That's the #1 Comic-Con in the country. Sometimes you'll see them from the New York Comic-Con, New York Expo. Those are also generally worth a lot of money. Another sticker you want to look for right here, I'm going to zoom in and come down. Oh, hang on a second. I'll bring it up because I know I don't know how well you could see it because my face is probably in the way. So let me bring this over here. Hang on a second. I don't know if I could get it in view here, but there is a sticker. It's yellow and it says Chase on it. It says limited Chase. Maybe you could see it there. It's called Chase for a reason because collectors are chasing it. They're trying to get it. It's more limited. That's why it says limited edition on it. So those are typically more valuable. So these are the kind of things you look for. Like, this one right here that I have in my hands, this Baze Malbus one from Star Wars, this is pretty much worthless. I got it in a big lot. It doesn't move. There's tons of them. The character's not super popular. You note that there's no sticker on it. The sticker's always going to be on the front. It's just, and it's a great condition. It's just not going to move by itself. The only way that's really going to move is if I combine it with other Star Wars characters. So that's something you do with isolated figures that don't sell. Don't throw it out or anything. You just have to package it with something else. So we're going to move forward here. And, you'll just see here, there's some additional types of stickers. So all these things are, good. I like to see this. Here's a glow chase right there, so that's good. If it glows in the dark, that is a good sign. Those are generally worth more than the ones that don't glow in the dark. So you can see there's a lot of things that go into Funko Pops and trying to figure out if they're valuable or not. But these are the types of things you got to look for. You're going to see them in the field, and generally when you do see them in the field out there sourcing, at a flea market or something, they're generally pretty damaged and beat up, and they're generally the common ones. You're not usually going to find these types. These types of ones you're really going to tend to find, and through the way that I'm finding them, is putting out a wanted ad or looking to see if someone else is trying to sell their Funko Pop collection online somewhere through a local market group or something like that, maybe Facebook, Craigslist, other places. So the good thing is each picture I am seeing stickers on items, so that's good. That's drawn my interest. Another thing that I like to see is Toys R Us stickers on these things, because Toys R Us has gone out of business and we've got Toys R Us glow in the dark, so that's great. So let me tell you what I'll do just as an example, because you really are not going to have the time when you get a collection this big to look at, and some of them are going to be even bigger. You don't have the time to look up every single one of these. So what you've got to do is you've got to learn to operate under rules of thumb and generalities, and you also have to learn how to do some spot checks. So let's just do a couple of examples of some spot checks. So I'll show you the process that I'll go through. Let's just stop here at this figure right here, okay? So this one I told you earlier I'm excited about because it has the green sticker on it. It says Funko Spring Comic Spring Convention exclusive. It's Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy number 310, and he's got two of them in there. So let's look it up, and I'm going to look it up in two ways on eBay. So let me open up eBay right here. I'm going to go over to the Advanced tab, so bear with me for a second. Go over here. Okay, so we're going to type in Funko. And I recommend typing in Funko first so that you don't have to you don't have to keep deleting it. You know, it's just easier if you put in the beginning and then you put in, because if you're going to be looking up a lot, it's easier just to erase going from right to left and then just replacing them and leaving the Funko in the beginning. So Funko, Yando, I think it's 310, and that should be enough to find it there. So, oh, Yandu, sorry, Yandu. So there we go, and we'll just search for it, and that should bring it up. We're going to type completed, so because I like to get a sense, I don't just do sold, I want completed because that'll give me a sense of how well these things are moving. And I'll sort it from highest to lowest because I want to know what the max value these things are. Ignore these ones that are combined with others because that's not what we're looking for here. This one went with a Pez dispenser. We don't want that. We want an exact match. So someone trying to sell for 75 doesn't move. We've got some additional combos here, but you know, here we go. Someone listed it for $69.99, best offer, $4.10 shipping, and it's sold. But here you go. You know, we don't know exactly what it went for, but it went for over 58 because this is going in order of how it's sold, and this one here sold for 58. So this one must have sold for more than that. That one was like around 60, 50. Here we go. This one, you know, $49.99 plus $7.85 shipping. Person took a best offer. This one sold for 50. So look at this. They are reliably selling. Remember, I didn't. This is why I do not sort them by solds. I'm selling them. Sorting them by completed because this would tell me if ones didn't sell. And what you're seeing is these are consistently selling very, very well at that $50-$55 range. So that tells me right there that if I buy this collection, I am going to easily be able to make $100 back just by selling these two. I'm going to get $100, and then there's 66 of them left over. So you know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? So now, I should say that would be the max. The max. Let's look and see what currently the competition is, because you do have to take that into consideration. So let's now, we'll type it in here, and now we're just going to just see what the current listings are for these. Okay, so that's a good sign when the first one pops up as $69.99. That's a sponsored one though. So we're going to sort it by buy it now, because that's how I'm going to sell them. I'm not going to auction them off. These things tend to have fixed market rates unless you had something super rare, but these are not that rare that you'd want to auction it. And so here you could see one that's 45 bucks, 9 watchers, so close to 50 bucks, not too far. So if I listed it, I'd probably list it at $43.99 or something like that, just to be competitive. Although this thing's going to probably be gone pretty soon. It'll probably be gone by the time I get the collection. And so then you're dealing with ones that are, you know, 46, you know, 47, so somewhere around that range. So it's good. In other words, you know, I'm going to be able to easily, that tells me, make my money, especially when I see those 9 watchers right there. You know, that's going to be great. So if you could only pay around $2 to $2.50, something like that, for this Funko, and you could bring in 45, 50 bucks on it, you know, something like that, that's a very good return on investment, you know, even if you're paying for shipping, because these are generally all going to go out first class except the one that had 2 in them. So so that's my spot check for that one, and let's just do another one for the heck of it. Let's go over here. Let's go to the first page. We've got Wonder Woman now. There she is. She's a Walmart exclusive. Well, let's see. We've got that one. Let's see what else we have here. Do we want to do that one? Yeah, we could do that one. Let's do the Wonder Woman one from the first page. So, whoops, sorry, that's something else I'm selling. That's some Love magazines, some pulp magazines. I was talking about that at Steve's show. So those are from the 1940s, 1930s. I just put them up today for $100 in my store. So if you're interested in that stuff, go check it out. I've got 2 collections like that recently. So yeah, those are the ones that I got at the Comic-Con recently. If you saw that video, I did post them today. So anyway. Let's look this Wonder Woman up. Wonder Woman 211, and she's a Walmart exclusive right there. So we'll type that in right over here now. So this is why I say, you know, now I don't have to retype Funko. So Wonder Woman. And what number was she again there? She's 211. Yep. Okay, so we're typing 211, and we'll see how she's doing. And we'll sort it highest to lowest. It's already like that. So we'll go down. Now this one's not selling for as much as you can see here. Where is it here? Where is she? So this is what I mean, where you gotta be careful with them, because not all gonna sell for for that $50 range there. So we're gonna move down a bit, and so where is she moving? Where does she tend to sell? Okay, so she tends to sell for, you could see here, more reliably at the $13 range. So this is gonna be one in the lot that, it's going to be around a $13 item or so. I mean, you've got to check what the current competition is for it, so we'll do that as well. So Funko Wonder Woman 211, and let's see what we've got on this one. So we're going to bring it down, and there you go. Your competition is the $12.99 item. So, you could sell it at $12.50, $11.99. Still, again, if you're getting it for about $2 on average, and pretty soon you're going to make all your money back on these with some of these other ones in here that are worth a lot, that, these add up. You only make $5, $6, $7 on some of them, but they add up when you buy 68 of them. That's the point of what you're trying to do. So we spot check that one. That one's not worth a ton, but like I said, I already know this one here is worth about 35. So move forwards. All right, we did that one. This Kurt Cobain one's interesting. I wonder what that one goes for. I didn't look that up. Let's see. So Kurt Cobain 67 FYE. Let's look that up. I'm curious. All right. So Kurt Cobain, because anything Kurt Cobain usually goes for a good amount. So Kurt Cobain, and what number is he again? He's 67. Okay. 67, and he's FYE. So let's search for that. What's he go for? Let's see. Where are you? Let's look at him individually, because there's some where he's with a trio of others. So we got to find him individually. Okay, now he's not going for a ton, but here he went for $28.99. And let's see, let's go down more. We got to factor in the shipping. Here, more reliably, he's going for around 22. Right over there. There's some other ones though that still didn't sell. See, this is why you have to look at the at the completeds, because it's telling you he's not always going to sell at that rate. So you got to move down a little bit more to see where is he more consistently clustering. Even some of these $16 ones, he's not moving. Here he's moving more consistently at around $17. So, but even below that, there's some that he's not moving on. So here you go again. He's starting to get more consistent at around $12, $14, $15. So you get a little bit more consistency there. So, he's going to move. You'll make some money off of him, but not as much as I would have hoped. Let's see where he goes currently, what the competition on him is. Let's find one that's actually in a box. Move down. There's a bunch of these freestanding ones, and here we go, $12.90 with 3 watchers. So consistent, a little bit lower than that $14, $15 range there. So okay, so there's some ones that are worth lower, and sorry about that little technical glitch there. We will move over now to another one, and let's see if we can find one that's a little more valuable. So here we go. Let's look up, this is actually a Wonder Woman item. This is Diana Prince. That is Wonder Woman's regular name there. So Diana Prince, and that's 176. So let's type that one in. By the way, if you're getting bored with this, just move forwards a bit in the video and you'll see some additional parts of the negotiation. Diana Prince, 176. And you can see this one is likely going to be worth more. You see, this is a $35, $40 piece here. At least that's the highest it will go for. Here you go, $30. So that's a good one there. So I'm going to go over here, and we'll type her in and see what the cheapest is that she is going for right now. So we'll do Diana Prince 176. And there you go. Cheapest she's at right now is $23.99. So we can get over $20 for her. So that's a good sign. Move forwards again to see some others here. Let's see over here. We'll go over to this one here. We've got, let's see. Let's go over here. I'm thinking we'll do one more. I know I said that earlier, but maybe we'll just do one more. Let's do the glow-in-the-dark ones, because the glow-in-the-dark ones tend to do pretty good. So we'll do Raven glow-in-the-dark 108. Let's check him out. So here we go. Funko Raven glow-in-the-dark 108. And let's see how he does. All right. So okay, it's 34, 30. This is with the shipping, so that's good. You're seeing things that are selling reliably. Look at that, 29, 25, 50, 20. And there's some of them have shipping included, some don't. 28. Look at that. You've got a reliable stretch there, and that's what I'm looking for. So we've got pretty much a lot of $30 sales right there that are pretty consistent. We'll again search to see what the cheapest is, because that's going to be my competition. That's how I move these quick, is I just basically sell them lower than everybody else, because I could get them at a low price. So let's do this one right here. Type that in. And you can see here, the cheapest that one of these is selling for right now is $28.45. So all I have to do is put it up for $27.99, and that's going to help move it, especially around the holidays. So that's basically what you have to do, is you have to go through these, and you basically have to spot check them. Take about, look at at least one of them per page. And I did that. I looked at one of them per page prior to getting back to this person, and I decided this would definitely be worth something going after, and I could definitely make some money on this. It's a long-term thing. I mean, you're not going to do it all overnight. You're not buying the collection to flip the collection all in one piece. You're buying it to make your money by piecing it out. So you have to be patient. So let's go into the negotiation then that transpired after I had a chance to look these over and look up some comps. So what I know going into this is there's a lot that are first of all, they look like they are indeed in great condition. I know there's 68 of them. I know that there's a lot of them that have stickers on them, and I know that there's a lot of them are moving. And some of them are moving for 40, 30, 20 bucks. So if I could get them for around $2 to $3 a piece, I'm going to do well on them overall, even though I haven't looked every single one up. So what I do is I just bring out the trusty calculator, and I just do a simple multiplication problem. Now you could do this in your head too, but I just want to show it. Let me just bring it over here so you can see it easier. So I'm just going to say 68 times 2. And that's $136. Now, I don't want to offer the guy $136 because that's a little bit of a weird number. And I do, in my mind, also want to factor in that he does have some pretty valuable pieces in there. Nothing crazy, but, like I said, he's got some $40, $50 ones in there, and that's what you need to make this work. So I bumped up the offer to $150, and that's what I said. I'll show you right here. Actually, I wanted him to tell me what he wanted first. You really never want to be the person who's initially throwing the offer out there. You'll see. I just said, thanks. How much are you asking for all? And this is very typical what he said back to me, which is make me an offer. I know you have to make money and sit on them until they sell. I obviously I know that. I don't think he literally meant that I'm going to sit on the Funko Pop. So it's kind of funny that he clarified that. So you can see my response there. $150 cash today. I do that for a reason. I say it that way for a reason. I like to throw that $sign in there. I like to emphasize that he's going to get cash, and I like to emphasize that he's going to get paid fast. I'm willing to go right now, give him the money so he could almost feel it, especially since I know he wants to get rid of them. Now, this is a typical response that you will get sometimes, which is a yikes or a surprise. But the way I look at it is if someone is not going to throw the offer out there, and I'm asking them, I'm giving them the chance to tell me what they want for it, and they refuse, then anyone will tell you who's good at negotiation, when you throw that initial offer out there, that you've got to leave yourself room to negotiate. So that's why I threw out the 150 number. I know I can move up. I could be safe between $2 and $3. So 150 still keeps me there, just keeps me a little bit over 2, and that's fine given what I know about how valuable some of the items are. So he writes yikes, and then he tries to put a little pressure on me by saying double that and they're yours. Well, now it's a matter of who's going to give, and I basically just told him I can't do it. Sorry, there's too many of them that don't sell for much, and once I factor in shipping and packaging costs plus seller fees, it's just not worth it. And you might be wondering, sitting there, what do you mean there's too many of them that don't sell for much? I didn't look all of them up, but I do know that we have a bunch here, for example, that do not have stickers on them, that are not going to sell for a lot of money. An example would be something like Aurora. I mean, if you don't believe me, I mean, let's just look her up right here. Aurora 325, and let's see what Aurora 325 goes for. So we'll type in Aurora, also the real name of Sleeping Beauty, Funko, and let's see what we get when we type this in. So we're going to go from top to bottom here, see if we could find her. Aurora 325. Now, this is why you got to pay attention. This one here, I'm going to click on it so you could see. This is a different one, the one that's sold. People could get misled by this easy. This is the Chase edition. So let me go to the original listing. This is not the one that he has in the picture. Let me again make sure you could clearly see the difference. You see here, let me zoom into it. This says Chase edition. See that limited, see that sticker? Limited Chase edition. That in and of itself, just having that sticker on there makes that one worth a lot of money. The one that he has here, if we zoom into it, there's no sticker on that one. You see? Nothing there. So that's not the same one. So people get misled by that. And you could also see the dress color is obviously different as well. But sometimes people don't pay attention to all the details if they're not a collector in this stuff and they don't know the ins and outs, and they might just look at it real quick and say, oh, this one's worth 30 bucks. But it's really not. So now you could see, let's see, we're getting down to people are trying to sell this one in the pink dress for 30 bucks, but it's not moving. So we'll keep moving down. Got some more blue dress chases that are selling. Now we got people trying to sell the pink dress for 25. It's not moving. Gonna keep going down, keep going down. Still not moving, not moving. Getting down towards the end there, still not moving. We still don't have a sale on it. Now we're at 20 bucks, still don't have a sale. Okay, this one is also, now this one is a pink dress, but as you can see here, this one also differs because this one has a sticker on it as well, but it's not a Chase sticker. It's from it's a different type of sticker, BAM. So see it right there, that's an exclusive to BAM. So that's not the same one, so we got to go down again. So you see how this can get complicated. It's real important to make sure you are paying attention to these stickers. So we're going to go down some more, down some more. Now we're below 20 bucks and we're still with the BAM sticker ones. So we still do not have a sale for the one. Here's more BAMs. We still don't have a match for the one that we are looking at right there. So there's 10 set. Now we're almost in the $15 range and we still don't have a completed sale for the item that we're looking at. And finally we have one, $12.99. Some sold for, but let's look at what the cheapest is for that, and we'll definitely find that one pretty quick. It won't be so long of a process here. So we'll do Aurora, Funko Aurora, and that's 325. And let's see what the lowest she's going for, because remember, that's going to be your competition. And here is the problem, okay? Because I didn't scroll down all the way over here. That's upper, top, okay? Depends on what's going on at the time, what the competition is. But right now, you see the problem here? Here's your competition. You've got one for $850 with 14 watchers. Then you've got one for $849. You've got one for $650. And this one for, let's see this one with 14 watchers for, for $850. The seller's not terrible, and he's got 99.5% feedback. And he sold 7 of them for that rate. So that's going to be your competition. So that's what I mean when I tell him that there are ones in there that don't sell for a lot. Now there are ones that do sell for a lot, but when I'm negotiating, I'm obviously not going to emphasize those. I'm going to emphasize the ones that don't sell to explain to him why I want to pay the rate that I'm going to pay. So he doesn't fight back. He says, okay. And then he says, thanks for your time. I say, okay. And then I just let him know, hey, if you change your mind, let me know. Just to keep the door open, because I expect that he's going to continue to shop these around. And that he's, may or may not get someone to give him the money that he wants for it. At this point, he still didn't, well, actually, he did tell me he wants $300 for him, so maybe he finds someone to give him that, maybe not. But if he can't, I want him to know that the door's open for him to come back to me. But it didn't take long for him to come back himself and say, you can't do any better. And so now, rather than me throwing out a number at him that's higher, what I then like to move into as a strategy is to see if he could throw in something else. And then I will increase my offer, still get the Funko Pops, and maybe get some other things such as comic books. I've done this before, and it has been successful. Now in this situation it didn't work out, because as you'll see, he didn't have anything else that he wanted to sell. He just wants to sell the Funkos. But I said, do you have any other collectibles you want to sell, such as comics? I like buying large lots. If so, maybe a package deal can be worked out for a higher price, but for the Funkos alone, I'd have to be at $150. I purchased Funko collections in the hundreds, so I know where I need to be to stay in business with them. So one of the things I'm trying to convey there is that I have a lot of experience with this. I know what I'm doing with my pricing, and I'm not going to go up to a number that's just too high. So his response to me was he doesn't have anything else he wants to sell. All of his comics and trade paperbacks that he has are ones he intends to keep. So now, watch this. Look at what happens now. He says, if you did $200 for the whole lot, I would let them go. Now, I didn't even tell him to go down to $200, and I find this happens a lot with people who are desperate to sell. They automatically start slashing their price if you just put up a little bit of resistance. See, you have to be able to walk away. That is crucial. I've talked about this in other videos, even done ones that are dedicated to the topic of walking away from the deal. You have to be able to do that sometimes. If you're willing to walk away, you often will ironically usually make the deal. Not always, but many times you will wind up making a deal because of that. You just have to make sure you leave that door open for the person to come back to you, or give them a way to get back in touch with you if they change their mind. So you see there, willing to walk away, but now he's already slashed it $100 from his $300 where he was. So now I've got a guy who I know doesn't have anything else that he could add to sweeten the pot any further than he has by throwing in some of those rare or more uncommon Funkos. And now I've got him he's stuck at 200. And I know he's gonna want me to move up a little bit here. So what I factor in is say, all right, what if I meet him halfway? And a lot of you know that I like to use that approach of meeting halfway. I do that a lot when people make me an offer is on eBay, as I will try to meet them halfway, and it usually helps seal the deal. So here, what we want to do, we want to get the calculator out, and we want to figure how much we're going to pay if we do 175 on it. So we've got 175 divided by 68, and that's going to put us at about 250, 257 per Funko. And I'm willing to go up a little bit more on them like that, because I know, again, that some of them are going to sell for 35, 40, 50 bucks, that type of thing, and that over the long haul, that's going to bring me in a nice return on investment. So I tell them, I can meet you halfway at $175 and drive to you or a mutually agreed meeting place near you. I also make sure that I throw into him that this does assume that when I see these in person, they are mostly in near mint condition, as he said they were, and that they don't smell like smoke. So what's his response? I'll take it. I just don't want them taking up the space anymore. So this goes full circle to what I said over here in my ad. Has your Funko Pop collection gone out of control, or have you outgrown it? Have you run out of room to store all of them and just need the space? You see, that drew this guy into the ad and led him to contact me. So I don't have to go searching for him. This ad does it for me, and he reaches out to me. And that's what you want to do as one way to try to find collections like this, is you have to put ads up like this to bring people to you. It's a very, very effective way to get these big collections. And then he just clears up for me that they do not smell like smoke, they're near mint, and the worst, maybe some have some dust. And then basically the rest of it is just working out a time for us to get together. Now, one last tip I want to point out here is that ideally what you want to do when you get someone to agree to a deal like this, you want to go get it that day. You do not want to wait. Why? Why don't you want to wait till the next day or 2 days later? Because the person could shop it around to someone else, get a higher offer, or start thinking about it, mulling it over, get cold feet, and pull out of the deal. I do not want to give them a chance to do that. However, yesterday, and this is happening right before I go on Steve Rakin's show, I had to do his show. This guy's about 35 minutes away from me, and I wanted to do Steve's show, obviously, so there's no way I was missing that. And we just agreed that I'd meet him tomorrow morning, so I tried to do it as early as we could, so I'll get there around 11 o'clock and make the purchase. So that's how it works. I know that this video was long, but I did it on purpose like that. If you stuck with it this long, I did it on purpose because I wanted to make sure that I took you through the whole process from start to finish in terms of making that negotiation, putting the ad up, getting the initial response, responding to the person, looking over, spot checking the Funkos, making sure you're checking up not only what they sold for, but what your current competition is for the item. You have to assume, as the buyer of these items, that when you're going to go sell them, you have to assume that they are going to sell for the lowest price on that list, not the highest. That's what you have to assume, and that's the price that you have to factor in. Do not factor in the highest possible price. You have to factor in that it's going to go for lower than that. As worst case scenario. I mean, ideally, maybe you could get more, but that's what you have to think worst case. But even worst case with a lot of these items, I'll take $44 or $35 or something like that, and that's fine if you're purchasing it for $250. So I'll pick them up tomorrow. If any problem happens with them, I'll make sure I mention them in the next video, but I anticipate everything will be okay. I'll try to give you guys an update on that. Obviously, I did, by the way, in terms of one other update, I did make a mistake on my prior video, so thanks Esme for correcting me on it. I seem to have calendar disorientation with regards to my interview with Steve, which, as I mentioned many times, happened earlier today, not on December 30th, which is what I said in the last video. So ignore that. And as I said, go down below. You could see the interview there in the description section. And that's it for me. I'm going to wrap this up. I've got some other things to do. It is now 3:15 in the morning, so I've got to get a little bit of rest here and get this video processed. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're watching this first thing in the morning or later on in the day, if so, make sure you give a like button that you know, a nice hit there, a nice smash in honor of Steve. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, or you know, if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do that. Also, make sure you come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link to that is down below. A ton of you also join that as well. So as you can see, there's lots of great information there. Follow me on Instagram. That's at prime_time_treasure. I'd love to see you there. I put up little video clips and helpful hints there as well. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I've kept you long enough, and I will see everyone at the next video. Thank you, everybody. Any questions? Leave them in the comments. Take care.